Yeah. It all. Oh, sweet. Podcast of Dustiny, episode 7. I'm here with my good friend John Motta, professional skateboarder, good friend. How's it going, man?
Good.
You doing
Chilling.
good? You doing
Hanging
good? We're here getting some footy, some skate footy.
Yeah.
At a very famous, popular skate spot. It's like a DIY skate spot in North Phoenix, Arizona. It's called the Beardsley Banks.
Yep.
And
this is where I grew up skating.
Yeah. This is where John, has been skating for a long time, and he knows about a lot of local spots like the Beardsley Banks.
Yep.
How long have you been skating here?
Here?
Yeah, at this spot. Yeah.
Ooh, shit. I mean, ever since I started skating, pretty much.
Yeah.
I live only. There's a freeway. I don't know if you can hear it, but I live about a mile on the other side of the freeway.
Yeah.
And then there's tunnels right over here.
Yeah.
And to get over here, instead of crossing the freeway, you go under it and you get here. But I've been skating here
instead
since
of driving here, you would just skate.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and my elementary school's like right there.
What elementary school was that?
Mountain Shadows.
Oh, Mountain Shadows. Okay,
Yeah.
okay. I went to Arrowhead Elementary.
Yeah. So, 5th grade, 6th grade.
Yeah.
What year? What year did you graduate? 06?
07, I think.
07. So
yeah.
I was 06. So whatever year we were when we were 5th grade, 6th grade.
Yeah.
Is how long I've been skating here.
Yeah, that's cool. This place is it usually like dead like this, or we have it the whole place
it all
to yourself?
depends. Yeah. Usually in the winter, people will come, like other skaters from out of town will come here.
Yeah.
That's usually more who I see here is people from out of town.
Yeah.
Versus people that live here.
Okay. Because it's like a place that people from all over the country.
Yeah, they like. Yeah, this is it's.
I didn't know it was
famous,
that famous. That's crazy.
It's a famous spot. Yeah. But. Yeah.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
First time I busted my lip. I was skating off the top of this bank back here.
Yeah.
Like skating over the bank to flat, and I was trying to 360 flip it, and it was the first time a board like hit my lip and gave me a fat lip.
That's got to be one thing that you fear when you first start skateboarding. Like, when is going to be that first time that I'm going to get credit carded or or hitting the nose from the front of the board. It's almost like I've never been punched in the face. I've never punched someone in the face.
Punched in the forehead.
Which is there's probably so many people watching this like this. There's gonna be a fucking first, dude. Fuck this motherfucker. No.
Yeah.
But let's not get into that. I've known you for a long time. We'll get back into skateboarding here soon, but I've known you for a long time. I've known you since I've probably since I was 18 or
07, 08, probably.
Like 30. I'm about to be 32, so that would be about almost
I think
20 years.
08.
Yeah. And I know you. How do I know you from? I know you from
just like partying
the
years.
scene. Yeah. Eventually, I started seeing different
friends of friends
groups and different different types of people. Like, I grew up in the metal hardcore punk scene, the DIY shows, like independent shows with like bands and stuff. And then I also skateboarded when I was younger, like a lot for a while. And I feel like I knew a lot of you guys when I was younger and I skated, but I didn't start getting to know you guys until I started going to like parties and stuff like that and bars. And I think one of the first times I actually got to know you, know you and Buster and Cody Coleman and was through a video that we all made
MySpace.
in 2010, 2011?
Something like that.
Something like that. This video was called Conversations. Me and a couple of my friends made a video called Conversations 1, and then we made a second one, Conversations 2, and you can still find it on YouTube. Do some research if you want. If you want to. It is it's a video that an idea we came up with where we just kind of like took a camera. We had like a bunch of dudes at my friend Trey's house. We all were just partying with just mostly dudes. Like, I think it was one girl, which was Stacy, I think.
Yeah.
And just us getting like close-up shots of our faces saying random lines into the camera, lines that we would think are just really random in the middle of a conversation, or lines that are offensive. Or it was mind you, it was in 2010 or whatever. So it was a while back before
Yeah.
Before
we softened up a little bit.
yeah. I needless to say, it is very cringy for me to watch that video, especially with my parts.
Yeah.
I don't know if you, John Motta, you didn't say anything like rape, schmape, come here, let me fuck you in it.
Nothing
so
like that.
yeah,
I had the Affleck line with the duck.
Yeah, you had just the John Motta ones, the ones that just you doing weird like creature like poses and hopping and things like that. I was gonna say, like, there was a time where every time I saw you at a party or a bar, your entrance was always you hopping in like a mystic creature, like coming from another world into all of our worlds.
I had to let everyone know I was there.
And I smoke weed. I've always smoked weed for like a long time, but you used to smoke weed, right?
A little bit. There was about in 2009 maybe a 3 to 4 month period where I actually bought my own weed.
Yeah.
But before that and after that, I would smoke it if it was offered at a party.
Yeah.
So, and I would never, in that 3 or 4 month period, I would smoke it during the day. But other than that, anytime it was offered, I never smoked in the day. I never was high when I skated. I was never.
Yeah, because I feel like you weren't like a normal weed smoker, and when you would get high, you would just be so interesting, dude. Like, you always are interesting as fuck, but like you would just do the weirdest shit.
It has an effect on me for sure.
You know, I like you the way you are as it is, but I'm saying, like, just at that time, it was just like, oh my god, this guy is so. Like, every time I see him, he's just doing something so amazing, like whether it's skateboarding or entering a party. But yeah. So we grew up together. We've done a lot of things like conversations together, and let me see. You know, I also wanted to get back into skateboarding. Some of the things that got me into skateboarding when I was younger was probably the first skate video was probably "Welcome to Hell." Would you say that that's like probably a really common like popular video that
people our age.
Seeing?
Yeah, definitely. Welcome to Hell. Jump off a building, all that whole.
Flip Sorry was another a little later one, but not as old as Welcome to
That
Hell.
was Flip Sorry was like maybe I had been skating for 2 years at that point or something maybe.
Yeah.
That was a crazy video for sure.
Yeah, like Flip Sorry, right?
Yeah.
When what's his name? Oh god, I'm drawing a blank. The guy who like wrecks and they animate it.
Arto.
Yeah, Arto. Sorry.
Throws up in the.
Yeah, that I will always probably vividly remember that thing, that part. I remember it just traumatizing me almost when I saw it when I was really young. Yeah. And I love the Johnny Rotten parts.
It's a very good video.
Johnny Rotten, have you seen Johnny Rotten? How Johnny Rotten lately is? He's like a Trump supporter.
I've seen.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I didn't know if that was a troll. I saw the photo of him.
I can't tell if it's a troll either. But there's the picture of him. Yeah, in the window with the what is it, a MAGA shirt or something, or no, yeah. Trump? Mm-hmm. But I also recently just saw like a video of Johnny Rotten.
I only saw in the window.
Yeah,
I didn't look further into it.
Yeah,
but I mean, it's believable.
The singer of the Sex Pistols. Yeah. You would think that they would be rebelling, against what's going on. Which when you're rebelling now is
rebelling against the mainstream media. Then
exactly.
Then it's very believable that he's that way.
Yeah.
Yes.
I also like Epically Latered in terms of new stuff with skate videos and things like that. I think Epically Latered is a lot of stuff I like to. I like to pay attention to that. I like the Greco episode.
I've watched a few of those, but I never got too in depth with them.
Yeah,
but they were good. The ones I watched. I mean, that was so big for a minute there. Like those episodes.
Yeah,
were, really good.
You skated for Skate Mental. You still do? I got back on. I mean, I only left because, there was just things going on at that time. Yeah.
Kind of contest type skating was taking over, at least the time that I left, and the pay, he wasn't able to pay. I also wasn't doing my fucking job.
Yeah.
There was a situation going on where it was like, there was a a power struggle, I guess, between Brad, who owned it, and then people that filmed me. They wanted to keep the footage, and then I'm trapped in the middle, like, yo, this dude's paying me, so I need to give him footage, but then it's also like they're not getting what they need from the footage, and they're also making successful videos from that footage. Yeah. So it's like, it was a weird thing. Yeah, and it kind of, I mean, it just got to a point where I couldn't handle it, and it made it hard for me to actually do what I wanted to do. Mm-hmm. So I had to, like, I don't know, I removed myself, and also the pay, I stopped being paid. Yeah. But it was all like, it's all
Why
good.
Did you stop getting paid? They stopped paying?
I just wasn't doing my job pretty much.
Oh, okay, because you started getting into stuff independently mostly, right?
Yeah, and then we tried
steering away from that.
Yeah. The internet thing was also starting to pop up at that time, like Instagram and that whole thing. It was just a shift in skating, like that happened in skating. So I mean, everyone started to kind of leave their sponsors around then and try to start their own things. Yeah. And we tried it with our friends. I had already had a business of my own started, and then my friends, it was up to them to try to make the skateboard company work, which was called Sometimes. The concept of it was, if you run a business, you have to operate the business. You only get to skate sometimes if you're operating it. So if you're owning the thing, there's a I don't know what it's called. It's like a fable maybe of the whittler in a shoe. Like someone that whittles the shoe. Is always whittling the shoe. They don't get to sell the shoe. Yeah. And then it becomes like you get consumed by the business aspect of that you have to stop focusing on your craft to run the. So it's like this balancing. And that's kind of what this Sometimes was about.
I think that you're doing the DIY thing perfectly. You and Buster and all of them.
Yeah, it never took off. Like Sometimes thing, never. But
happy medium. A happy medium is a skate video. You've had what is it? There's 4 now or 3 or how many happy mediums are there?
We're on to 6 right now.
Oh shit! Okay. So there's been 5.
It's really 7 because we did a Sometimes video.
Yeah.
And that would have been 4, or that would have been
because it's the
5,
same production.
But we just came out with
people.
5. Yeah, exactly. So. We're on to 6, but it's really 7.
Happy medium, if you're a fan of skateboarding or not a fan of skateboarding, is something you should definitely check out. Check out all of them. Him and Buster O'Shea, they make those videos, and who else is involved in that in terms of the production?
Hunter too.
Hunter.
Yeah,
I'm sorry,
brother.
Hunter too.
A lot of people that were in it. It was very.
Yeah, it's a collaborative thing.
If you're talking about independent videos where there's no outside funding or sponsors involved, it is one of the more successful. It's probably turned more people pro than maybe any other independent video. Everyone that's been involved, like nearly every one of them, eventually got a name on the skateboard.
Yeah, and a fun thing
about people. Yeah, also left making the videos with it. There's a lot to the whole series of videos, but. Yeah. Myself, John, Rob, and Jeff, I think are the only 3 that have been in every single one of them from the start. Yeah. So everyone else, there's always been groups of people that have come and gone, but we're the
kind of new faces to show their. You got what it takes.
Yeah. A lot of people from the Midwest. I don't know. Just people saw the videos, and I feel like we're responsible for a lot of people moving to Arizona to like. Skateboard because they like the ditch spots and like so many things about Arizona, the weather in the winter when people are in school, and they come here to go to school at ASU and all of that. So I don't know.
And a really fun thing about
I have no way to prove that, but it's just something that I see.
One of the really fun
that's what's going on.
One of the really fun things about a happy medium is that when you guys premiere, I'm sure a lot of people do stuff like this, but I've never seen it happen to this extent. When you guys release them and you have the premieres for Happy Medium, you have them in these movies like has it always been in the Super Saver?
It's not that uncommon, but we always do it. Yeah,
but you always do it. It's just always
there was one.
Yeah.
Shit, maybe it was the Sometimes video where we did not have it at that theater.
The movie theater, yeah.
We've always had it.
Well, have people always is it normal for people to do it at a Super Saver, like cinema, like movie theater?
It's always different.
It's always yeah.
People just wherever they can get away with it. Yeah.
I always thought that was very particular. There's a
lot of Tempe people. There's a theater called Pollock Theater.
Okay, yeah, I know about that place too.
Tempe videos when they release, it's usually always at that theater.
Okay.
Yeah.
And everybody packs it to the Super Saver Center for Happy Medium, and we all just it's like a party. It's like I'm sure people sneak in 40s or whatever or something like that, or maybe they don't. I don't know.
Because when we do it, we rent out the back theaters or the back theater. Yeah. Usually 2 showings. So when people go into the theater, it's through the back, so it's a completely different entryway.
There's kind of like a green room of sorts. Yeah.
All kinds of bringing whatever in.
So. At the end of Happy Medium 1, I don't know if it was a Happy Medium 1 or 2, but is there footage from conversations at the end of the first one or something like that with Jeffree Star?
I think so, yeah.
Right?
Probably.
I remember
but it's
going to the premiere. I don't know if he added it at the end for the premiere or if it's just in the regular video. But
it's probably in there.
Yeah, they
I don't remember, though.
It's like everybody's standing around Jeffree Star, and it's from that video I mentioned in the beginning of this podcast about conversations. But it was it was supposed to be Conversations 3. We never released that.
He got onto us because of that video, right? And that people from Aaron and Trey got to know him because that video got so big, right?
Yeah, Conversations 2 got really popular, and Jeffree Star, I don't know if he reached out, but I think maybe Trey and Aaron Stone, Trey Gridley, Aaron Stone, I think they reached out to Jeffree Star. Funny story, quick little story about that. When we were trying to film Conversations 3 with Jeffree Star, I remember the first time meeting Jeffree Star, he pulled up in the car. He was in the back of my friend's car. We were at Trey's house getting ready to go over to Aaron's house where we were going to film Conversations 3. Uh-huh. But Jeffree Star pulled up in a car to Trey's house first to talk to Aaron and stuff. And we see Jeffree Star in the back of the car, and they rolled their window down, and Jeffree Star just goes like, "What's up, bitches?" or something like that, or he was always saying something really fucked up. Yeah. Like, he would walk out to the back where everybody was, hanging out, and he'd just point out some guy in a flannel and be like, "That guy looks like he's wearing a Kurt Cobain outfit."
I remember at that time, everyone knew he was in town. Yeah. Everyone was trying to hang out with him. And Aaron, he owned that townhouse or whatever over off Carefree Highway. Yeah, yeah. And I just so happened to be painting a mural at that time. Remember, I was painting the mural in his house?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So that's how I was able to, I was already there painning, and they showed up. So it was
I remember you having interactions with Jeffree Star. Yeah. It was just so funny. Because it was two opposite people. John Motta's personality and Jeffree Star's personality together was just the best fucking thing.
He's cool. I like I like how he lives. What he's doing, dude.
He's an interesting guy. He's
got his own business going and all that shit. It's awesome. Yeah.
Back to skateboarding a little bit. I was talking to you when we were skating a little earlier, how I'm trying, these days when I'm trying to get back into kind of skateboarding, I never was amazing at skateboarding. I was okay, but I'm trying to get back into it just for fun now and exercise and just fun. And I'm trying to practice not pushing Mongo. I'm trying to push regular, because I always push Mongo, Goofy, or whatever, and
it doesn't matter.
What is the
characteristic?
Is that that's a characteristic? Is it? It's not a what's the word I'm trying to use? Looked down upon, or what's the word?
It is. I don't know. I actually tried looking into the origins of where the name came from.
Yeah.
And
pushing Mongo.
Yeah. And no one seems to know why what it came from.
Because you see these memes these days, this guy looks like he pushes Mongo, and people that don't even skateboard are using that.
I thought it came from. So this is controversial. I actually got in a little conversation where I was not got yelled at, but because of the word mongoloid, and I thought that's what it came from.
Okay.
Because when you're pushing Mongo, your foot, it's easy to see how that could be the origin of the name of the. But supposedly that's not what it is.
Okay.
So I thought that's.
And no one really kind of doesn't really understand the
it doesn't
history
seem
of it,
to be. I don't. There was a video that came out not long ago, and they didn't really get to the bottom of where it came from.
Okay, well, maybe it doesn't matter that much.
Yeah.
That's
but characteristic.
I got to be honest, though. Pushing the other way, though, what was the other way called? Is it just Oh no,
pushing.
What?
I don't. Just
yeah. Pushing Mongo though for me works. I can go really. That only helps me go really fast though. It only helps me go if I'm trying to get somewhere like on a skateboard. I'll probably push that way, to be honest. But I feel like the reason why you want to push regular, right, is because when you're about to do a run or a trick, it's easier for you to get set up.
Yeah, it's quicker to get set up.
You can get.
You don't have to. Yeah, when you're Mongo, your leading foot is the one pushing, so you have to go, like, if you're pushing and your leading foot is all the way behind you, you have to step all the way across your skateboard to get your foot in the right spot.
Yeah.
Whereas when you're pushing regular and your back foot's the one pushing,
because you're usually using your front
you're pushing
foot to
back,
do
it's
the
right
tricks.
there. It gets right on the tail, like, quicker.
Yeah.
So it's much more efficient in terms of, like, trying to set up quick and do a trick.
I'm trying to figure out how people are, how they push that way and push really fast. And you know how you see them getting a lot of speed to do something, and they're pushing that way, and they're really putting their swinging their leg out and getting some good friction or whatever.
Uh-huh.
Man, I gotta get used to that. But I wanted to talk about skateboarding in the media right now. Certain. Not skateboarding in the media as a whole, but I'm talking about a few instances with skateboarding that has put skateboarding in a negative light. Certain visuals that America has seen with skateboarding. And what I'm talking about is one of them being the guy, I forgot his name, something Rutliff, or forgot his, something Roof or whatever. He's the guy that was in those protests or those riots somewhere, and he had a gun and he was defending himself.
Oh, yeah, the Kenosha.
There was a guy who hit him with a skateboard.
Yeah.
And that is not that's kind of one thing that is making, that kind of is.
Yeah, when all this protesting started, I was very tempted to tell people, do not bring your skateboards, because police look at skateboards as... Yeah, they look at it negatively.
Yeah.
And it gives them more of a reason to,
and skateboarding
push
is
back
far
against
from
when they
that.
see a skateboard.
Exactly.
It's not the best thing to have. It's just not. But I mean, I completely understand why someone would bring a skateboard to the protest. I get it.
To get around, and then also, I mean, I guess it can really be used as like a weapon, I guess, with trucks and. But I mean, it sucks that something so fun, like you've proven that it can be so fun and positive, and people have proven that it's such a positive, fun thing. It sucks that people have to kind of ruin it with, it's in the media and things like that.
I don't.
And then like there's another one where there's these most recent protests in Washington where everybody was there with the Proud Boys were there and Antifa were there, and an Antifa guy left his skateboard where all the Proud Boys were. You know who the Proud Boys are, right? Those guys who wear those collared shirts and they kind of defend Trump, and they're a little violent. I
don't know all about it, but I know of it. Yeah,
a guy left their skateboard in a group of Proud Boys, and there's a video of all the Proud Boys taking the skateboard and snapping it in half and cheering and stuff. So it's skateboarding, fuck, and that's another thing. I'm just like, God, this is not.
It's a weird, the way people perceive skateboarding that don't skateboard. It's a very rebellious thing.
Yeah.
But skateboarding is about individual freedom, and so if you sat down those two groups of people with such differing points of view, and they really got to the what it is to skateboard and what it means, they would agree, they would find
come to a common ground or whatever.
So I don't know, but you can't even get people to have conversations right now to get to any friendly conclusion of anything. It's just there's too much division right now.
One second. Let me just hate when the face ID or whatever, face password doesn't work, whatever that's called. I want to talk about one more thing. I had to bring up something about a thing that happened to me particularly at SkaterCon, the most recent one that happened before all this stuff started.
Okay.
It was at PV.
PV, yeah.
This isn't okay. So this is like something I have to like mention,
Uh-huh.
and I'm hoping maybe some skateboarders will watch this, some people that were there, and specifically these two guys I have to mention that this happened with that were involved.
Okay.
Okay. So there was there was like contests or raffles there a lot, like where you could win shit, right? The skateboards, things like that. And I was like pretty stoked about that. It was, I won a free ticket to go there in the first place.
I actually have not been to one of these. I went to go skate one day at PV, and there happened to be one. Yeah. So I briefly saw what was going on, but I didn't stick around.
Okay.
So I don't fully know, but I know it's like to display skateboard history.
Yeah. So I was with a couple friends there, and we all kind of really wanted to win something. It was whatever. And there was a competition going on in the main bowls, like the bowl section at PV, and there's a competition going on there, and I was hanging out there for a little bit, but then I left for a while, and then I came back, and when I came back to where the bowl section was, there were people kind of just standing around, and there was nobody skating anymore, and I asked somebody what happened, and they're like, "Oh, some guy fell." They just said some guy fell, right? And so I didn't think it was really that big of a deal. And when I came back to the bowl section before I talked to somebody, my friends were telling me to ask the guy at the DJ booth about the raffle, right? So I went over to the DJ booth. This was right after I asked what happened. Somebody just said a guy fell, and it's skateboarding. People fall all the time. I didn't think it was that big of a deal. And I went over to the DJ booth. I forgot the guy's name, and there's such a nice guy, and I just feel bad how this went down. Like, I went up to the guy and was like, "Oh yeah, some guy fell, right? And it's pretty crazy, right?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, it sucks, dude." And I was like, "Yeah, so did you guys announce anything about that raffle or anything?" But I didn't know how bad it was. And and he was like, "Dude, I don't know. I'm sorry." He's like, "I don't know right now."
I see.
And so I was like, why was he kind of mad? And I was walking away, and I saw him kind of looking at me kind of weird, and I was like, why? What's the big deal? And I found out that that guy fell pretty bad, and he cracked his head, and there was blood and shit, and I did not know how serious it was, and I basically just want if it's possible that the guy who I talked to at the DJ booth was is watching this or something, dude, I'm sorry, and then even more of a bigger apology to the guy who fell, because I'm sure he didn't hear about me.
Yeah.
It's not that big of a deal.
Who it was. I didn't hear about this.
But I still think about that, and just God, that guy probably thinks I'm such a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
And I swear it was not
Yeah, you didn't.
If I would have known it was a guy cracked his head open or whatever and was taken out in a stretcher and shit, I would have definitely not done that.
Yeah.
So a skateboard, I honestly saying skateboard or a shirt or whatever is not more important to me than caring about a guy's well-being. Just wanted to shout that out.
Yeah.
We talked about conversations, skateboarding. I wanted to talk about Rawr. Your company, Rawr. How's it going, man? You're totally welcome to be here. Absolutely. I'm sure John knows.
Hi there.
Dude,
nice.
It's totally chill. I actually totally would prefer people to be skateboarding in the background. Yeah. We're doing a podcast. John Motta. Yeah.
Yeah. What, Phil? Yeah. Nice to meet you.
What's your name? Dustin.
Nice to meet you again.
This is the podcast of Dustiny.
You live in AZ? No, you're visiting. Like I said in the beginning.
Yeah.
I told you. Anytime I see people here, they're always from out of state. No one from Arizona comes here. Yeah, cruising down the ditch, yeah. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
This is what I was looking for the whole fucking time.
Yeah, you reached it. This is the one.
Hell yeah.
Nice. Were you all the way on the other side of 35th? At that spine?
We're 33rd.
Oh, way down the barrier spot?
Yeah, the barrier spot.
Yeah, okay. So you're on a mission. You've been.
There's got to be more.
Nice. Yeah. It ends right here. So you don't need to go any further. Yeah.
These are vocal mics. I wish I could pick up your stuff too. Is there any? Yeah. No. I mean, is there anything that you have going on with skateboarding that you would possibly want to shout out or anything like that?
I do actually. Meridian Skateboards.
What is it? Get closer to the mic.
Meridian Skateboards.
Meridian Skateboards, and
nice.
That's what's your Instagram? Meridian Skateboards. What's your Instagram?
The Big Lajansky.
Phil Lajansky.
Phil Lajansky. The Big Lajansky is his Instagram.
Nice.
East Coast Pro? Old East Coast Pro. Okay, how long have you been pro?
40 years.
Okay. So yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe 20 years.
Damn.
Nice.
Okay.
Now I just run a company. Meridian's me and Keith Murray, who is the vice president of Huff.
The vice president of Huff? Okay, yeah.
Nice.
Nice.
What's your podcast called?
Podcast of Dustiny. My name's Dustin. Yeah, the podcast of Dustiny.
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually do comedians and musicians, but I got I'm branching off to different types of guests. Got skateboarders.
Yep. That's awesome. We saw you.
And you totally feel free to
back.
skate. I do not think that you're bothering at all, because that's actually kind of what I wanted to happen, to be honest with you. So,
yeah.
Nice meeting you, dude.
Yeah.
See, that's fucking cool. Proving what he said in the beginning.
Yeah. Every time.
Yeah, that people come from all over the world to this famous skate spot, Beardsley Banks. So I wanted to talk about Rawr, which is a company that you own, that you started with your brother, right?
Yeah. Well, okay, I can get into it. So, the way that it started was my mom she was a face of a rebound, little trampolines.
Yeah.
Rebounders. So she worked for a company that did that, and then they branched into supplements, and I think it was like the company started blowing up, so they sold. My mom really liked the product, that the supplement that they started making, which is what we have now. My sister started having these health issues with, they thought it was lupus. She had these swellings. So, and then there was an ingredient that all these companies of the similar product were using alfalfa, and alfalfa and lupus have this relationship that's not good for one another.
Yeah.
So my mom's boyfriend at the time was like, why don't you make one without alfalfa, since every single one of them on the market has alfalfa? And that's how this started. So then my mom and her boyfriend started this company called Envy Greens, and I think they were just too early. They tried to do it online, and their market was older. People older at the time weren't buying stuff online yet. And so it got to a point where my mom kind of saw that things with my skating she just knew there was nothing for me after it. So she was like, you should do something. And she's like, this is an opportunity. So I took what I made from skating, and I went in on half of an order with my mom, and the company that was filling the bottles at the time literally let us put the same exact product, half of the order in my mom's bottles and half of it in ours, and that's how we got started.
Just to test it out.
And it was helping me. Well, I was a traveling skateboarder, so we were eating fast food, and you're young and don't know what nutrition is yet, especially at that time, just so oblivious and just living, just beating yourself up skating and then trying to recover with fast food. It just...
Yeah.
So then I started taking this,
hand in hand.
And then a lot of us hanging out. We talked about how crazy I was with partying and all that.
Yeah.
It just led to a point where I had a mental breakdown that led
I've
me
been
to
there
be
before.
It diagnosed me bipolar, and from that point I got put on medication. And this product, it held me accountable. It was a thing to do every day, where it was like, you need to take care of yourself, do this, and you're mixing it, and it was something you're tangibly doing, and it kept me on track. And it was the starting point of me becoming and taking care of myself better.
And are you off of meds and replacing those meds with
so I've been
a new lifestyle?
I've been on it. So the end of 2009 was when I was hospitalized from my manic episode.
Okay.
I then, up until the end of 2010, it was just not on and off medications, but on and off trying different medications. Yeah. And that whole year was just horrible for me, and I knew that I was never going to find any that worked. So then just natural ways.
They never
through
do.
Blood work.
They never do.
Through all kinds of testing, all of these things, we figured out what was going on with me. And I also was, branched off and started taking care of myself better in every aspect of life, not just diet, just all of these things. And
exercise.
I made it. I've made it all the way up until now without medication.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the origin story of it.
Yeah.
And the reason why it worked, I think, for us online is because the online stuff started happening at that time, and we had an audience. My brother was biking at that time. He had an audience. I had an audience from skateboarding. So it made it easy to start it up, to get people to buy it initially.
Mm-hmm.
In the first 2 years of it, my mom's boyfriend did all the packing of all the orders of even our product. So I wasn't an operator of the business for the first 2 years. And everything that we made, then we didn't pay ourselves anything. We then accumulated enough money to go to a different manufacturer that would allow us to use, our organic ingredients with the USDA logo on it. And that's when I took over and started operating. That was 2014. Mm-hmm. And from then I've operated the whole thing since that.
And what is the process that it's probably a long process that you would be, but I guess what I'm saying is you do it out of your house, right?
So yeah.
How is the operation?
We have the formula, we have the blend, and then we give the ingredients to it's a bottling company, a manufacturing. They have the certifications, the FDA certification, the USDA, and so we design the labels, give it to them. The label gets shoved through a certification process, like make sure it's all up to standards. Yeah. All the ingredients get tested through them. They have all that, because all that, like if we were to do that, it's great. Like the GMP FDA thing, it's $50,000 a year just to own that.
Yeah.
So we can't, like, for us to, we could get all the ingredients and do all the bottling and everything ourselves in a more like renegade way.
Yeah.
But we would not be able to say that it's FDA approved and all of these things. So there's regulations to it, and that's why we work with bottling companies and things like that. So, but other than that, that's what happens. We have the formula, they mix it and bottle it for us, and then we get it and the product sits at our house, and then we do the marketing aspect of it, the packing and shipping, all of that. So it's all a supply chain.
Yeah.
But it's not a private label in terms of like we're not buying mixtures they already have. It's all our stuff.
Yeah.
It's our own proprietary mixes and everything.
Yeah. Okay, so that's cool. So I know that there's like a book that you came out with, right, about mental health and physical health and Rawr and stuff like that. Can you tell us a little bit about that, or where you can buy it or whatever?
Okay, so with running this business, you have to make ads. It's part of the beast. You have to do it. Yeah. And there's a thing with running ads where you reach, in order for the ads to work, and you factoring in conversion rates and all these things, you have to reach a shitload of people. A lot of people in order for the people to convert, the few that do convert and become your customers. So, but a lot of people, they resonated with my story, the one I told you with. It's the main video of our company and what it's about and how it helped me stay off medications and all of this and go a more natural route in life and take care of ourselves. So I would get my DMs like every single week. This happened the first time I actually put myself out there into the world saying it's bipolar, this is like what this company is about. And because from 2014 to 17, we were just selling the product to sell it. Yeah. I didn't have a story behind it and like what it like actually was coming from and what it meant to me. And I finally came out with this video 2017. Ever since then, it just took off, and people would come to me because it's free for people to come into my inbox and be like, yo, I have a similar story that is so similar. What can you help me? Yeah. And it just became, I did it for years. I would reply and say, try this, try that, do all these things. And it got to a point where it became very overwhelming, not just knowing how many people out there are that have these mental issues, but that it just became so much of me replying and texting people. Like, it was so I was like, I need to just accumulate and make a book. So when someone comes to me with this information, like something that we want help with, here, take this. I don't need to reply. I can just send you the link.
Yeah, that's awesome.
That's the idea behind it. And then, so we had there's things called lead generators on your website, pop-ups basically, to get people's email.
Okay.
And so I made this book, and it was just intended to hand people that way, like just give it to them when they came to me. And so I was like, I'm going to test it out on my site. And once I put that on my site, like the amount of people that then started giving the email to get the book was insane. It just like, I think the prior like email sign up from like just a discount code, like a generic discount code, like get 10% off your first order.
Yeah.
The opt-in rate on that was like 2 or 3%. And with this ebook, the conversion rate went up to like 8 to 10%. So it was just like, it just worked really well. So
right place, right time too, kind of.
So.
Yeah. What do you think is the future of Rawr? What are your plans for the future of it? Like, anything that you want to
just progress? Slowly. I mean, going the same way. We're bootstrapped. We've been bootstrapped since the beginning. So one product has created the other 3 products we have. And if you understand cash flow and operating a business, it's very hard to do. To create, especially, I
wouldn't know where to start.
I don't necessarily, our orders are, they're gnarly. They're,
I've seen the Instagram stories of you packing.
Yeah, all the boxes. It's not
it's
like
full. It's full.
buying
the whole room's full.
Like 600 T-shirts here and there.
Yeah.
It's hefty. It's a world, like this industry that we, found ourselves in.
Yeah.
It's not built and it's not friendly for people like us to get into. Yeah. Like if we were to start now, we got in at the right time. If we were to start now with the amount of products that we have, we would easily need around like $150,000 to even like get to the point we're at now. Yeah. We've been able to grow to this point. So it's
yeah. We'll talk about where you can buy Rawr and stuff like that, and supplements and things like that, and at the end. But I wanted to go to the last thing that I want to talk about, which is Old Man's Maze.
Yep.
Old Man's Maze is
Gus Breathauer.
Yeah. Old Man's Maze is this urban legend spot. People used to think it was, a myth even, we've known about for a long time. It's in Phoenix, Arizona, right? Central Phoenix, kind of, right? Like, or a little bit north, right?
I would say northish Central Phoenix.
Yeah. It's like right there.
Thunderbird and Cave Creek Road.
Thunderbird and Cave Creek. It's not there anymore, but Old Man's Maze is a big area of land, and this guy owned. I'll have John explain a little bit more, but that it's a place that I always knew about, like with my friends. You
guys were the ones that got me onto it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, just by hanging out over at Trey's house.
Oh shit! Okay.
We would go. I think the first time I went was with you, and you would hop the back wall from the nicer neighborhood.
Oh shit! Yeah. Yeah, I think I do remember going with a bunch of people. Yeah. I actually do think I remember that.
I think John Seabury was with us.
Yeah, and I think everybody was like drinking and we were all being loud and shit, right? And we were talking about how we were scared of like him like shooting us with a BB gun because we heard that he would
There is a story of.
Let's have John. Yeah, like have you explain more, because John he actually went there with like a crew, like a video crew, like just a camera and stuff. And they did like a little documentary about it, and talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah, so the gun thing. So when we got there, when we went, just, we broke in and we're just roaming around at night.
Because, we used to go.
You just scare yourself. You're scared. You're roaming around like, oh, shit, you hear that?
Yeah.
And then there's a little back house with like all these mirrors, and it's like, that's haunted. And there's just like, everyone's like, that's the haunted one.
Yeah, which
so
is
you're just like,
you just want to.
Should we try to break in or no?
Yeah, you want to think that.
And then so it's just one of those things. Yeah. And there's a lot of stories behind it. Anyway, the gun thing, everyone that goes there is like, make sure you don't get shot, because there's a story of a lady that he did supposedly did shoot with a salt gun. So like, it's a gun that shoots salt, and it like it hit her, and they ended up becoming friends. I think her name was Wendy, and she then became the property manager of the property.
What?
Yeah. So there is like some sort of truth behind the shooting.
So she went to go check it out, like secretly.
Exactly
she got
what we
shot
were doing.
by it.
Got shot.
Like a BB gun, right?
Salt. So it's salt, like actual like salt pellets.
Oh yeah. Okay. Yeah. And then she ends up talking to the guy.
Yeah.
And then like confronting him probably about it, right?
Yeah, I don't know the full story.
And then becomes the manager of the property.
Yeah, she then unofficial manager of like upkeep of the property, because he was really old. But I think this had happened a long time ago. So she was still property managing at the time when we were still breaking in and stuff. This had happened to her like years and years ago, and she was just friends with him forever and all of these things.
And the reason why it's called a maze is because it is a guy who made a maze out of a bunch of objects.
Yeah,
and things.
And a lot of it is historical objects from the building of Phoenix in Arizona.
Oh shit!
So a lot of the things in there. So downtown, like there's bricks from the first, the first bricks that were laid in downtown Phoenix. He owns those bricks. The bricks were on the property. There's just so much. There was so much history to that place. Yeah. That if you walked around with it, and I did, I eventually over time was like, I need to know more about this place, because there's hints of it all throughout it. If you're looking, like this represents this represents that. So I was like, I need to know more. And he
has things like those giant random like dinosaurs in the front or whatever, things like that.
So I was like, I need to know more, and I eventually went and just showed up and was like, I want a tour from you, and I did it.
The old guy
two
who
times,
owns it, right?
Yeah.
Because you just knocked on his door, right?
I just showed up, and knocked on the door, and
that is
he was
like a movie.
and he wanted it. He wanted to turn that property into an actual historic landmark for Arizona. Yeah. And Wendy, and her were working with the fire department and everything to try to get permits, because it was so dangerous. There's so many things that could like harm people. So they were trying to figure out a way to get it,
turn it into a business, like tours.
Exactly. And it never ended up
happening. Took it down. They took everything down.
They just bulldozed all of it. From what I know,
I'm tired of things like that happening. Things that are amazing and things that have so much historical value and so much life to them. Yeah. Where people just destroy it, and people don't care about the history or the time, the amazing times people have had there.
Yeah.
Old Man's Maze, I've had seriously some of the most amazing times.
And it's not just like personal stories of breaking into it. There was legit like Arizona history in that property, like and crazy artifacts.
Swept away. He had be there again.
He had a board, dude. This is like crazy.
Yeah.
He had this board of fencing, like wire fencing and barbed wire fencing.
Yeah.
From every county. So supposedly different counties in Arizona all used different types of wiring. When you go out and you're out in the middle of nowhere, and you see wire fencing, it's like a fence post, a wooden fence post, and then there's wire to keep cattle in and everything.
Yeah, yeah.
He had displays of every type of wiring and fencing and barbed wire from every county in Arizona on this board, just snippets of it.
Did he make the whole maze by himself? Or did he have people?
I mean, I'm sure over time.
Yeah,
it was just accumulating like.
Oh my God!
Years
and then
years.
He had this whole section on the other side of the house was like sheds and old cars and things like that. I remember that being
there. Was
the
UFO, and there was a UFO thing.
What?
That actually, I think it was Granada Park that it floated. They made a UFO, and I think it was like I think it was Sandra Day O'Connor, or someone floated on the UFO that was in his backyard on Granada Park.
What?
There's this like,
and they took all that away and shit. What? That's like fucking.
There's so much to that property
as hell.
But anyway, that thing. What you were saying was when that film crew came out. So the team that it was Super Brand Clothing was the name of the clothing, and they came out here to to shoot an article for a magazine.
Yeah.
And I told them about this place, and the article kind of then became based around this Old Man's Maze. Yeah. And so after I brought them there, one of the people on the team, Brad, he was driving cross country maybe a month later or something, and he's like, "Yo, I'm driving through Arizona. What's the address to that old man's maze?"
Yeah.
And I'm like, "Here it is," and he fucking sends back a photo of just saguaro cactuses, and there's nothing there, and I'm like, "Oh shit! I never got to show him the magazine, and it was sitting in my truck for so long, and I had it. I just never went back to show him like, yo, your fucking property made it into this magazine."
Oh my god! I wonder if he's still alive. Do you think he's?
I think that's why it got taken out.
Oh my god!
It's because he died. He was 92 years old when he was walking me around that property.
Oh jeez.
To explain, and I would show up because he gave me 2 tours, but I went and visited him probably 5 times,
mm-hmm.
and one of the times I showed up, it was actually with Michelle. I showed up there and we went to talk, and he was fucking out in his front yard, just butt ass naked, just shaking a shower with the hose out front.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah.
Is that how the house was? It was kind of like, I wonder if he made his own house too. You know, probably,
yeah.
I mean, that's crazy.
But
That's
so much. It was such an awesome place.
Yeah, that's tragedy that it's was taken away.
It's sad. I have on my Flickr. I mean, I
yeah,
never used Flickr.
We'll get into
Motta
some more
Flickr
shout outs, but like your Flickr is a lot of pictures of
the
old
only,
man's maze.
I mean, at the time it was the only place to
What's
host
your Flickr?
photos. You just type John Motta into Flickr.
John Motta into Flickr.
And there will be it's all 30, actual film photos that I took.
Check that out.
Because this was before there were smartphones and
You'll
all
see
that,
exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, it's all.
Where you don't know where that article is? Specifically,
it's a Skateboard Mag article.
Okay.
I just made a post about it, and I think I put the issue in the
Okay.
But yeah. Anyway.
I've done this with every guest so far, musicians, comedians. It's a question I ask everybody. This is going to be totally off topic, totally random.
Right.
What are your top 5 favorite movies?
I'm
sorry, it's so off.
I don't have a movie. This is funny. This is a thing with my girlfriend right now. She's always like, "Have you seen that and that?" And I have the most obscure like movies that I see because I don't
totally
watch.
Fine.
No, I know.
Yeah.
I've never seen Star Wars. I've never seen
a full Star Wars movie.
Regular,
that's to
like,
be honest,
pop culture movies. I didn't go that route. But so I won't say top 5 favorite, but I'll name 5 that are like
it doesn't have
along the lines of what I'm saying. They're like they're probably like the like off-brand like movies that were just sitting there at the checkout line, bottom of the shelf, that my mom just grabbed, brought home. Here, watch this.
Okay.
So Mac and Me.
Okay, that's
Johnny 5.
Okay.
Powder. Flight of the Navigator.
You know, Powder. When I shave my head, I've shaved my head once, and you can't really see my eyebrows. And when I shave my head, I look like the guy from Powder.
Bending spoons.
Yeah.
Your thoughts.
Okay, so we got Mac and Me. What's up, guys? We're almost done, but totally feel free to do whatever you want. Does not matter.
Yeah.
Mac and Me.
Mac and Me.
You said John. What was Life with Johnny, or no? Was it
Mac and Me? Johnny 5. Johnny 5's a robot.
Okay.
That was like a crime-fighting robot.
Okay.
I guess, like fighting corruption.
Powder.
Powder.
Okay.
Flight of the Navigator, which was like a boy that went into a coma and was then brought into a spaceship, and like there's a lot to it. And then I guess the last one would be Witches, and the Witches where the witches turn the boy into a mouse.
Yeah.
So these are all like very weird, not mainstream, but these are all movies that I grew up on.
Okay, yeah. That's a good.
And the most mainstream that would be all Adam Sandler movies. I like.
Dude, that's awesome. Like, that's awesome. That'd be funny if all 5 was just all Adam Sandler movies. But that's great because most people just pick predictable ones, to be honest. And I didn't expect anybody to say Mac and Me.
Yeah.
But so let's we're at about an hour or so. I want to thank you, John, for being a good friend and committing to this and
sure.
skateboarding with me here at the Beardsley Banks. And before we head out, I want to have you shout out all of your stuff, your Instagram. Where you can buy Rawr, the supplements and stuff, and the drinks and things like that, and also just anything else you want to promote that you feel like you should promote.
Okay.
You got a lot.
Personal Instagram, just John Motta, and then a dash at the end.
And a dash at the end. Okay. John Motta dash.
Or underscore.
Yeah. Underscore. Yeah.
company, Rawr Superfoods. That's just the handle, Rawr Superfoods.
Okay. Rawr Superfoods is the handle, right?
The handle, yeah.
Okay. RAWR, by the way.
Yep. I mean, that's kind of, it's a happy medium stuff, too.
Oh, yeah, all the happy mediums. Make sure you watch those.
Skate Mental.
Skate Mental.
We didn't get to the topic of getting back on that, but I'm like,
yeah.
I'm not like, on. He's giving me boards and stuff. It's a mutual kind of.
You're really popular, man. He's got to give you something, man. He's got to.
So yeah, Skate Mental stuff.
Get you to stay on board with him. And then obviously your Flickr too, to check out what we were talking about with Old Man's Mace.
I don't update that though. That was just like I said. That was
just to check out the Old Man's Mace stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
Because if the viewer wants to know, what's going on, definitely check out all those things.
Yeah.
Thank you again one more time, man. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
You're a really awesome
That's
dude.
good.
And it's been Podcast of Dustiny, episode 7. Make sure you stick around, or make sure you check out, my channel, the podcast, some sketches that I'll be probably releasing in the future. Currently right now, for the people who are watching this, as I release it, I have a couple of shows coming up. I got one in JP's Comedy Club in Gilbert, Arizona on the 27th, Black Friday this week at 7 o'clock. And then the next day after that, the 28th, on Saturday, I'm going to be in Phoenix, Arizona at El Charro Hipster doing a spot there. So
nice.
Go check out all that stuff. Thank you guys for watching and have a good day. Thank you.
Peace.
Bye.